Hey everyone, please support what I do to help keep Greyhawk alive by subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider becoming a channel member to get early access to videos, exclusive live chats, quarterly adventure modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show. I thought that I would... The Archclerisy of Voluna in the world of Greyhawk has always been an intriguing realm for me, and I thought I could go through it a little bit today on Greyhawk Grognard. First, we have a little sad news. Those of you who have been following the channel for a while will probably recognize Louisiana, the small tuxedo cat that you've seen in the background in some of my videos. I just wanted to let friends of the channel know that she passed away yesterday. She was 20 years old, which is a very good run for a small cat like that. She died in her sleep, surrounded by the people she loved in her home. So she will be very, very missed. So I've always enjoyed the Archclerisy of Voluna, the idea of it. I think I was first attracted to it because it was prominent in the Village of Hamlet, Temple of Elemental Evil adventure, and that, of course, was one of my early favorites. So I wanted to go through what the different books have to say on it. First, we've got the guide from the gold box, and this is the same text as you see in the folio. It goes through the population, 250,000. It's got elves and gnomes. The leader is the canon of Voluna, Hazen, Shepherd of the Faithful, and very significantly, they don't tell you which god Hazen worships, which actually I'll get to in a second. And it goes through, it's been long been a shining example of the better side of humankind, yada, yada, yada. The semi-independent Viscount of Verbabonk is a willing vassal of the state, and so on. The infantry are pikemen with gnomish support and elvish archers. Okay, so basically, and it's got the 7 noble houses. Basically, you've got a generic, good-aligned nation. This one happens to be clerical by nature because it's an archclerisy, and the ruler is a cleric. So this nation, Voluna, is closely allied with Furiondi, and one of the plot points that they had in Temple of Elemental Evil was the two nations were going to be joined together through a marriage, and Prince Thrommel of Furiondi had been kidnapped and was being held captive in the dungeons beneath the temple. They never was a big point, but it's also it's one of those things that you either love the idea or you really hate it. The way it was presented in the Temple of Elemental Evil module was a little bit of a cheat, because he's like disguised as a vampire, and you're gonna and it's really likely that the PCs are gonna kill him because they don't realize that he's not a vampire, and it's okay. But then later on we have, so that was Voluna in 576 Common Year. Then we skip ahead to 585, and this is where From the Ashes comes in, and we have From the Ashes has the Atlas of the Flanaess. And here for Voluna, we have pretty much the same text there, and then it continues on into new text. Canon Hazen is a high priest of Rao, and all deities of lawful good are widely revered throughout Voluna. And this was important. At the time it was published, because way back in the heady days before there really was an internet, we had AOL, and there was a big Greyhawk community in AOL. The AOL forums for Greyhawk were very active. I was active in them. A lot of the big players that you see in the Greyhawk community got their start there. And one of the things that was the source of endless debate was which deity did Voluna honor, because there's several candidates, several lawful good candidates that it could have been, but because they didn't specify, it was just this endless discussions and debates. I think they even that Gary Gygax was even asked the question in a Q&A online at one point, and I forget what his answer was, but it was just it was an obsession at times. So they finally, when this came out, they took advantage of the opportunity and settled the question once for all. He worships Rao, but all lawful good gods are welcome there. And remember, this is after the Greyhawk Wars, so, Ayuz has expanded his empire hugely, the Great Kingdom has disintegrated, the Scarlet Brotherhood is popping up everywhere, giants are overrunning the West, and then it gives us this piece on Voluna. Voluna is the brightest hope of good in the Flanaess now. One secret support it gives to faraway besieged state is worthy of note. There's a teleporter between Voluna and Irongate, and they move trade goods between the two because Irongate was under siege by South Province back then. So it was really important that they have that means of communication and trade and such. So and it also mentions that Bigby, who used to live in Scant when the Scarlet Brotherhood attacked, was somehow responsible for that gate being kept open. So that actually goes back to another thing that was another video I did a long time ago about a secret network of gates that exists in the Flanaess that if you're powerful you can access. So that's where things stood in 585. Then we skip ahead another 6 years and we've got the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing because in typical LGG fashion, it's just this ginormous wall of text with details. You get the impression that it was suffering from Forgotten Realms envy at this point in terms of the amount of history they add. But what they do give in the overview, something very important is that the land of scholars and seers, yada yada. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Of late, Voluna has become a beacon of hope, a center of stability in an unstable land. After the tumult of the Greyhawk Wars, a group of adventurers in the employ of Canon Hazen recovered the long-lost Crook of Rao. That is the plot of Isle of the Ape. So it's bringing that in here. Which I also did a video about just recently. In a stirring private ceremony attended by the entire College of Bishops, Canon Hazen employed the fabulous artifact to trigger the flight of fiends, a wholesale purge of demons throughout the Flanaess, and so on and so on, yada, yada, yada. So basically, what that means is, in the aftermath of the Greyhawk Wars, we had this situation where there were devils and demons and daemons all just wandering around on the Flanaess, who had been loosed as part of the war, largely through the efforts of Ayuz or the Great Kingdom or stuff like that. And this act of the Archcleric of Voluna basically sent most of them back to the lower planes, which changed the nature of the setting. So we see yet again the important nature of Voluna, and Voluna is off to the left there, other way, right there in the map behind me, and it's got this central location between the Backlunish West, the rest of the Flanaess, and even part of the Sheldamar Valley to the south there. So it's this hub of communication. It largely escaped the Greyhawk Wars in terms of destruction on its own territory. It's coming out in a very good way. So in all, it's probably good as a base for adventurers, that they come from Voluna and then they go off to have adventures, because Voluna itself is going to be a very peaceful and well-ordered land itself. So you're not going to have a lot of monsters and stuff wandering through. In fact, if we look at the wandering monster table for Voluna, which is here. I had this just a second ago, and now it is fleeing from me. Here we go. We have, just so you can see that. We have demi-humans, elves, gnomes, humanoids, bandits and brigands, a couple of things in there, but no orcs, and most of the things we have are patrols, knights and light patrols and pilgrims. There's a lot of pilgrims because obviously there's a lot of lawful good shrines and temples and stuff like that. So on the whole, that's pretty much where we stand with Voluna. It's always been this beacon of lawful good, and it's kind of been developed over the years as new products have come out. It's because of its proximity to Hamlet and its role in the Temple of Elemental Evil storyline. It's going to be an important place, and it's worth having that background. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you ever done anything with Voluna? I'd love to hear about it. And I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.